Welcome to another episode of VGN Weekly. Members of the Virtual Grip crew will recap the previous week's races and bring us one-on-one interviews with racers, league owners, and commentators, as well as others from within the sim racing community. Please like and subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our broadcasts. If you are a league owner or potential sponsor and have a broadcasting need, please visit virtualgrip.net for info on how to get in touch with us. Thanks for tuning in today. Now let's go find some grip.
As the Virtual Grip Network gears up for another action-packed week of racing, let's take a quick look back at last week's race winners. On Tuesday, Tom Ogle showcased his focus in the Flameless 300 with Yesteryear Racing's 1966 Tour Modified Series at the Nashville Fairgrounds. On Thursday, Eric Stout went flag to flag for the race win and the season championship in Red Light Racing's SK Modified Series from Martinsville Speedway. On Saturday, James Lowe claimed his second win of the season in the Bootleg Racing League's Outlaw SK Modified Series at Stafford Motor Speedway. Later that night, James Lowe stole the win in the final corner, making it 4 in a row with the Bootleg Racing League's Late Model Series, also from Stafford. On Sunday, Andrew Kotska stole the win at the last possible second at Talladega Superspeedway in the OBRL's Cup Series. And on Monday, Scott Patton took advantage of a late restart to find victory lane in the Maximum Velocity Racing League's ARCA Series from USA International Speedway. Now we'll take a quick break before turning things over to Soups On, who's standing by with this week's special guest, Bradley Stefane.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Wakey VGN. John Hine is not here today, so I'm filling in for him. Yours truly, Bill Soups On. We're going to do our best to get through this one. If I'd known we were going to do this at such an unholy hour, I might have not accepted the invitation to sub for John. But John, hope you're having fun, whatever you're doing. Let's go ahead and talk about our guest today. Let me put on my special yellow glasses. I'm wearing yellow and blue in honor of my Golden State Warriors, who picked up a big win last night against the Houston Rockets. So we're wearing them. My guest, well, he doesn't have a poll yet. He has 24 starts in the Skidder Creek SK Modified Series that they run out there for Red Light Racing. Average finish is 7.9. He's got a win. The first broadcast, I had the pleasure of doing that on our very first broadcast that we did for Red Light Racing League. He picked up a win. Ever since then, it's been a lot of second place finishes. Doesn't have a championship yet, but I think those are coming. And of course, I'm talking about Bradley Stefane. Bradley, welcome to the show.
Good morning. How's it going, boys?
I'm glad you are here. I hope you're doing good. I don't know what time it is in Wisconsin. It's like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning here in California. What time is it in Wisconsin?
It is 11 a.m. currently.
I must not be doing the math right, or maybe my inner clock is off. All right. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and get into this. What John usually does is ask the traditional question, how did you get into iRacing?
Well, I got into iRacing, what was it, back in 2021, I believe. I came from console, race console, basically, my whole entire childhood, teenager, then my 20s and all that, and a couple buddies. They're like, you ever done iRacing? I kind of knew about it, but I didn't really know what it was about. And did a little more research and had some buddies of mine, because I'm not a computer guy. I wasn't a computer guy at the time. I had a couple buddies. They were really knowledgeable about that stuff. Found me a really decent computer on eBay, brand new. It didn't come with a graphics card. Bought one of them, and we started iRacing, and that's pretty much how I got into iRacing. Yeah.
Was it much of a change from the console? Did you say?
Definitely. I mean, obviously, you got to go out and buy a steering wheel. You got to buy pedals. It's a decent amount of money you got to spend. But what a change! I mean, it is just so much more realistic and a lot more fun. You have a lot more fun when you actually have a set of pedals and a wheel instead of a controller. It makes it that much more realistic. And I haven't touched my Xbox in probably about 5 years.
Well, let me tell you something. We have a new feature on this show that Lowell Jewell, who's the boss of VGN, was happy to put in because he knew that you had to suffer through working with a substitute host. So it is the magic word. And basically, if you say the magic word, you win $100 today. Now, I know what the magic word is, but nobody else does, and that didn't seem very fair. So what I'm going to do is share the magic word with my co-host so she knows. Come here, Prudence. Come here, sweetie pie. Up for love. Come on. Here we go. Up you go. There we go. All right, this is Prudence. Now, we've worked on this all week long. I'm going to whisper the magic word to her, and if she hears you say it during the broadcast, she will bark, and you will win $100, courtesy of Lowell Jewell. So here we go, sweetie pie. Pay attention now. Here's the man. Let me lift up your floppy ear. All right. There you go. She knows what it is. Good luck to you. And I know that you are a dog owner as well. We'll go ahead and talk more about puppies a little bit later. Oh, he didn't even speak yet. That's not the magic word.
How dare her?
Yeah, I know. She doesn't quite have it figured out yet. All right. You were talking about iRacing. Do you have a favorite car that you feel the most competitive in or that you enjoy racing the most? Do you have a track you like to race on?
I really do. I'm from Wisconsin. I live about an hour away from Slinger. Slinger is my favorite track. I mean, there's so many in the sim, but it's definitely got to be Slinger Speedway in a late model. I'm not the best at supers. They got too much power for me. I mean, I'm pretty good in them, but late model stocks is Slinger Speedway.
Are you a race fan, or I mean, were you as a little boy? Did you follow real world racing?
So I pretty much grew up in the NASCAR culture. Ever since I could walk, I was going to Talladega. My parents brought me there since I was a little baby. I probably been.
Well, wait a minute. Did you grow up in Wisconsin or?
I did grow up in Wisconsin, but my mom,
What's the connection? It doesn't seem like.
My mom, she's from down south.
Yeah.
Her mother, my grandma and grandpa, they were. He was in the war, so they traveled a lot. She lived in Hong Kong for a couple of years, and but most of her family, they're from down south. So her brother, my uncle Tim, he lives down in Alabama in Birmingham. So they live about 45 minutes from the track. So ever since I was a little kid, been going to Talladega. The last time I was there was when I was 21 and I was able to drink. So that was a pretty crazy, yeah, that was wild. But I grew up in. My dad loves racing. We watch it every Sunday, every day, weekends, truck race, Xfinity race, the big boys on Sunday, and yeah, I've just followed NASCAR my entire life. It's an awesome sport. I love it.
You know, I know NASCAR. I don't think they go to Milwaukee. Is the Milwaukee Mile somewhere you've gone to see racing, or do they race any kind of NASCAR there?
Yes, sir. Every once in a while. I mean, when I was a kid, they went there with the Truck Series for quite a bit. I've seen Ron Hornaday Jr. there win. I mean, it's been a blast. I was there a couple years ago. I think last year they had the ARCA race there, and I forgot what else they had. But yeah, Milwaukee Mile is a fun place. But Slinger is probably my favorite short track. There's a lot of fast guys that come there.
I get it. I'm going to put you on the spot here, and I'm going to be disappointed with your answer, but I got to do it. I'm a road racing guy, and I know that VGN covers so much. You short track guys sometimes they're open minded to it, sometimes they're not. My question is, Road America. Have you ever been there?
You know it. I probably that place is amazing. I've come from a background. I've helped racing teams, motorcycles, Moto America. If anybody's aware of that, I've helped a couple teams with that. So I've been to Road America a lot with the sport bike scene, as well as just going up there as a fan. Watching the NASCAR stuff. It is so cool up there. The place is amazing, but definitely bring a golf cart or something because your legs are going to get very tired.
That's what I've heard. People who have gone there said, Soup, you got to go because it's such a unique, I guess from what I understand, not a whole lot of grandstands, just you kind of just find a place on the hill, right?
Yeah, there's a couple places you can, wander around. You'll find grandstands over here, over there, but what is it? After the front stretch, you go down the big back stretch there, and going up the hill, they have a big TV there, basically, and that's pretty much the most popular spot because that's where the chaos happens. But it's a really cool place. You definitely have to go.
You were talking about motorcycles. I guess you have a real world background in dirt bikes?
Yeah, I did grow up racing motocross as a young teenager. I started racing, I think, around 15 or 16. I bought my first brand new dirt bike, so that was cool. I was super stoked about that. Raced for a couple years, got hurt, broke my shoulder, dislocated my other shoulder probably 40 times. So I have some shoulder issues, but it was the best time of my life, and I wanted to stay in the industry, stay in the sport, so I decided to go to school. I went to MMI, Motorcycle Mechanics Institute, to get a degree. I knew a lot about engines and, being a mechanic, all that kind of stuff. But in order to work for certain race teams, you have to go to this place and get a degree, and you kind of go from there. But yeah, I'm a professional motorcycle technician. I work on all the toys, ATVs, snowmobiles, side-by-sides, all the fun stuff for adults.
So how does that work? You work for a company that repairs? Do you work for a dealership or for a company that does repairs, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I work for a dealership. We're a certified Yamaha, Kawasaki, Suzuki dealership. I'm professionally certified from Yamaha, Kawasaki, CF Moto, Arctic Cat. I've went to all their schools, done this, that, and a third. Still continuing. I've got to take this class, and this class yet, but I'm very good at what I do. I've been doing it for about 12 years now, and I love it. It's a great job.
I know the cars have a lot of electronics. Are motorcycles the same way? Is there electronics in that you need to know about?
Yeah, they're getting a lot more complicated. They're getting a real pain in the butt. So in order, all these companies, their technology is just getting crazy. So everything's done by a computer. There's nothing mechanical anymore. So your average Joe are not able to fix this, that, and a third, and you got to plug it in a computer, and it's all diag stuff on a laptop, and it's getting wild.
Is there carburetors on stuff on bikes now? Or are those history like they are on automobiles?
There are certain units that still run carburetors just because I want to say more beneficial as far as like saving money, because like a simple dirt bike, yeah, you're at, well, let me put it this way. Like the bike I raced was a 250F, and that was carbureted. That was a 2005. Now it's 2025. They're all fuel injected EFI. But the smaller bikes for little kids, they run carburetors just because I guess it's probably, I don't know, they're saving money just doing it that way. They're still out there though.
Seems like, I don't know. Seems like it takes the heart out of it. I don't know. It seems like it would be a fair thing to have a carburetor in there. I guess, is the self-repair? I guess if you had a carburetor, it might be able to work on it yourself, but electronically it's going into the shop, right?
Yeah, pretty much. If you let your bike sit around, you got a carburetor, you're more than likely your pilot jet's going to clog. It's not going to start, not going to run right. With EFI, there's so much fuel pressure. It's really hard for a system to clog. So you really have no issues with EFI unless you're using race gas and you let it sit in your vehicle for so long. It's going to eat away from the fuel pump, and then you're pretty much done for.
So what you do now for your job, does that translate over? Do you get to do some stuff at the track? Do you get to do some race work?
I haven't been to the racetrack like working for a team in a couple of years. I've just been so busy and kind of got out of that scene.
But you have.
I have. I've worked for race teams. We raced super late models for a couple of years.
Really?
Up here in Wisconsin, we did the ARCA Midwest Tour for a couple of years. We weren't the best, it was just a fantastic opportunity for me to do something like that. Very grateful. But we did win a couple of heat races up here in Kaukauna. WIR, they call it Wisconsin International Raceway. But we've been a Jefferson, Slinger, and it was a blast. But everyone's things change, people's lives change, and you got to move on. But I still go. I wish I was at the track today, but I had this to do. Otherwise, I'd probably be at Slinger right now watching the races.
Was it a labor of love? I mean, clearly not a lot of money in it.
Oh yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Just for fun, right?
Yep, just for fun. I mean, I drive 2.5 hours up north to go to Kaukauna. That's how far the track was away, and the racing would get done at 10:30, 11 at night. You got to pack the car up, take the shocks off, put the transporting shocks on. You got to do a lot, and I didn't get out of there till 11 o'clock. And you get home at 1. It's like, man, it takes a lot. It does a toll on you.
You say you won a couple of heat races. What separates a good day from the bad? Is it just luck? I mean, is the car always the same, or is it like, do you ever go to the say, hey, I got something here. For some reason we're fast tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we've been there several times in the past. A couple of weeks earlier, and I don't know if it's weather. But just practicing, we change the bar, just make a couple adjustments. It takes a while to figure things out. The car's good one day, the car's not good the other day. You get a bad set of tires. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm not the best. I just work on a car, but yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and I guess I got to say we just got lucky. Probably, we had a rocket ship that night.
Let's take that and turn that over into your iRacing. Most of your leagues that you race in, first of all, do you race mostly in leagues now, or do you do the official iRacing events as well?
I really mainly do leagues. I'm just really busy myself and don't have the most time to go and race officials. I really want to. I try to, because I've lost my A class. I'm down at a C class now, and that looks really bad. Yeah. So I try to do races here and there when I can to improve on that. But like I said, I also love road racing, so I do a lot of that. I've won an official iRacing championship in the I think they're the Dallara F3 Indy cars.
Good job.
So that was pretty cool. Not the most craziest Division 9, but hey, there's thousands of people trying to do it just like I did, and I beat them all. So that was a pretty cool feeling. Yeah.
Well, with all your league racing and stuff, and your background in at least being able to work on the car a little bit, do you like fixed setups or do you like open setups?
I like both. So in the short track scene, let's say late model stock, I I run RKM setups. I was a driver for them. I may do it again this next season for iRacing. It's kind of late now. I'm not going to pay all that for the setups. Setups are fast. So if you have an open setup, oh my God, the car is 10 times better than a fixed setup. It is just insane. But it doesn't really matter to me. I love racing both. Fixed setups are, let's say it's more competitive because everyone's on the same thing. So there's really no advantage. You know what I mean?
Do you think that the driving the car is? I do a lot of broadcasting, and I'll just spin it this way, and then you can tell me if you think I'm on base in this. And a lot of stuff, a lot of time, open setups. I think the racing doesn't put on as good a show for the broadcast because so often the cars are on a razor's edge, and it's just harder. While the car might be faster, I don't know if it races better, if you know what I mean. So do you get that feeling that sometimes fixed setups put on a better show than open setups do? You're
absolutely right. You're not wrong by any means. I 100% agree with you. And with open setups comes driver skill. Even if you have a fast setup, if you can't drive it, what's the point? So, I mean, you go into a lobby with open setups, there may only be 5 guys who are really competitive, and then you got 15 guys behind them who are just, like they can't figure it out. They can't drive the car properly. So I totally agree 100% with you.
Well, let's turn that over into red light racing. You've only been there for what, a couple seasons maybe?
Now, this is my first full season. I ran a handful of races last season to, got my feet wet in that. But this was the first full season I did.
We were fortunate enough here on VGN to cover that, the SK Modified Series, and you got the win on opening night. And some things are looking good for you. Followed that up with a second, and then you got a cut. Well, I like to call you got teapotted there. You remind me of like Charles Barkley or Karl Malone if you're a basketball fan. Guys who never won a championship because of Michael Jordan was there, and you were just the best of the rest, basically.
Yeah, I was the first loser like all season. It was like, I want another one so bad, but Eric put in the time. He put in the time, plain and simple. And I could have done it with him, but like I said, my work schedule, I get off in a half early on Thursdays just to give myself a little time, hang out with the dog, and kind of just get focused for the race, but just do the regular practice session that the race comes with. But I on my off time, I really don't practice for these things. I just drive. I just somehow have that talent. I do a lot of multiple disciplines in iRacing. I think that really helps to where I don't need to focus on the practice like Eric does, but I really should, because come next season, if I don't do that, I think we're going to come out with the same result.
Yeah, and what will happen is, especially now that the series is being broadcast, it'll also, the talent level, you'll see it go up as because it
all these guys
but broadcasting changes the intensity of the series.
It definitely does. People love broadcasted races, and you guys do the best job. This is the best broadcast I've ever seen, like in iRacing, and been a part of. You guys, phenomenal, just phenomenal. But these guys in red light, these guys, everyone's fast. Everyone's fast. It's I have my good tracks and I got my bad tracks, but we're gonna try like heck next year. I really want to get a championship. I definitely know I can do it. Coming out of here, P2 this season, my first full season with these guys, I don't know. I can only get better, I think.
And just to drill down on it, when I mentioned Teapot, the champion was Eric Stout, whose nickname is Teapot, and he really dominated the series. All right, let's turn it. Well, the reason we have Wakey VGN is to get to know you a little bit better. So let's take it away from iRacing and turn it to your personal life. We know what you do. What's your family life like? You single, married, live alone, got people there? I know that Holly's important.
Yeah, I got the Holly dog, my puppy. She's 5. She'll be 6 this year in August. I've known her since the day she was born. She's my world. I do anything for her. But no, I am single. I'm 35, be 36 in June. It's great being single. I've tried. It just hasn't worked out, so I'm way happier single. But no, you know how the economy is. It's I don't make the most money. I'm okay, but I live here with my dad. He's gone up north with a 4-wheeling trip. with a couple of his best buddies. They're up in Superior, right on Lake Michigan there. But he'll be back in probably about 4 hours. So Holly's going to be happy. She's been a basket case this past couple days. I can't wait for him to get home in a way. But no, life's been doing great. My mom, she's no longer with us. She passed away from cancer a couple months ago. It's been a 5-year battle, but she's in a much better place now, and I do miss her. But yeah.
How's your dad doing?
Oh, he's great. Doing great. It's past couple months after the mom thing. It's been chaotic, but we've got everything back together. We're doing good. He's happy. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Just living life. Can't wait to watch some NASCAR today.
You talked about your dog Holly. Not to turn this towards myself, but I took care of my wife for a long time. She was ill, and she passed away about 4 years ago. And I was having a hard time because you love somebody, and there's nowhere to put that love. And somebody said to me, "Well, you need a puppy." Well, that doesn't make any sense. It's unbelievable. They're a
lot of work, but the love it brings you and the joy and just companionship. You got something to look forward to when you get home, and they just, when you leave, they're happier than hell when you get back. Yep, happy all the time. I took her on a couple car rides yesterday, and she's sticking her head out the window and just being a happy girl, loving life. I'm glad I have her.
Do you think that your mom and dad doing that, taking you to races early, do you think that's what kind of got you the bug for racing?
Absolutely, because I have an older brother. We're 18 months apart. We all went together as family, right? Going down to Talladega. We're kids, but he never really got into racing. My brother is not into racing. He doesn't. He lifts weights and stuff, but I don't know any kind of fun hobbies that he has. Like, I don't know. He just not into racing. It's weird. I'm the one who got that bug, and I've raced in real life too at Slinger. I've done that twice in my life, and racing four cylinders. I was super fortunate to do that, and so being on the track myself in real life, that was just crazy. But it definitely helped.
When you did the real world racing, what was the ratio from fun to nervousness?
Wow, nervousness was up here. Fun. It was fun, but. I was so nervous because I'm like, I do not want to make a mistake, look stupid out here. But I had one guy, his tire flew off in front of me. There was a red flag. I had fans sitting in the stands or whatever, and they told me after the red flag, I was coming out of turn 4 there, tires flying off. You got the guy in your headset. Everyone stop! Blah blah blah. And I lock up I hit the brakes too hard. Lock up the brakes, but heck of a time. I wish I could do it again, but I just don't have the money to go out and race like that.
I know you work, and I know that iRacing can be kind of compulsive and take up a lot of time. Does that leave do you have any other hobbies that you do, or is it pretty much work and then this is normal life other than that?
Like I said, I raced motocross growing up. I'm really into four-wheeling. I do have a sport quad. I do have a track out in the back of my house, so I hit jumps and do all that crazy stuff still while I can, while my bones allow me to. I'm getting older and I can't move as well. Arthritis is kicking in. But I love to fish. I actually just bought a paddleboard, so I'm going to go paddleboarding, go hit the water this year, have some fun, try to take my dog with me, get her a life vest. I'm an outdoors guy. Love going to the track every weekend too. Like I said, if I wasn't doing this today, I'd probably be at Slinger watching the races.
Got it. All right, well, this is what we do to wrap things up here, because I've been doing this. John likes to do something. John Hine, the usual host, likes to do something called Green White Checker. So I'm going to give you some quick questions, and you just hit them the best you can.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. This is an interesting one. This might be hard for you because of what you've told me so far. I haven't heard a lot about music, but this is the traditional thing. So I got to do it. First concert, best concert. Is there such a thing?
Ooh, there is. I actually worked at Alpine Valley when I was about 16 years old, and I seen Korn. They put on a live music video, so that was probably the best thing I've been a part of.
That's a good one. That's a good answer.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh, they're going to give you this one here. Your desert island movie. Again, one movie to take with. Now here's the deal. You gotta watch it for the rest of your life. So it's not like you get to, it's like,
Yeah.
it's got to have some staying power. What would it be?
Oh, that's a tough question to just throw at somebody, and man, I don't know.
All right, I'm going to make it easier on you. Best racing movie, auto racing movie.
It's got to be that Gran Turismo.
Okay,
That's I love that movie because it's real life.
Okay, there you go. That's true. That's a good one. All right, we got two more. You're from Wisconsin. You're a Packer fan.
I love
so
cheese.
We give you this one. Choose one. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. Who is it?
Wow. I gotta go Rodgers. He's more my era.
Yeah, I would
They're
think
both
so.
great, but I have to go Rodgers.
Yeah, see, that's the Gran Turismo thing too. There's a recency bias there.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a clue. You're talking to an old timer here. If you have a chance, have you ever seen the movie Grand Prix? Have you ever? It's hard to find. It's a long movie. It's Formula One racing in like the mid '60s.
It rings a bell, but I have not seen it.
That's worth the scene for you, young man. We'll get you out of here on this one. Here we go. Favorite type of cheese?
So I'm from Wisconsin. There's so many good cheeses. You can't do this to me.
That's why we're asking you.
Come on. Oh, man. Pepper Jack. I'm going Pepper Jack.
All right. Well done. It has been a pleasure to have you on the show. Now, let me see if I can take care of some housekeeping here. I believe what I'm supposed to do is remind you that you're watching Wakey Wakey VGN. And that's not the real name of the show. What is it? It's This Week in VGN Weekly. All right. You know what you are because it says it right on the screen. My director's yelling at me now. And now what we're going to do, Bradley, is they're going to show you about the races that are coming up and everything that VGN has because, man, we are covering lots of series here on VGN now. So
Absolutely.
The Red Light Racing being one of them. We've wrapped up coverage on that, but we're going to be coming back for next season. And from what I hear, you're going to try to show up and make a championship run at this thing, right?
We're going to kick Eric's butt next season. That's what we're going to do.
All right. I hope everyone enjoyed watching the show. Stick around for the video that's about to play, and the graphics are going to go up, tell you what's going on. I'm Soupson on behalf of Bradley Stefane. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Coming up on the Virtual Grip Network. The BRL Modifieds and Late Models from Myrtle Beach Speedway will air on Saturday, May 3rd at 7:40 p.m. The OBRL Yesteryear Cup Series goes live at 8 p.m. from Texas Motor Speedway on Sunday, May 4th. Maximum Velocity Racing League's ARCA Series will be live from Kern Raceway on Monday, May 5th at 9:30 p.m. And catch the next episode of VGN Weekly at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, May 6th, all times Eastern. You can see our full schedule and more at virtualgrip.net.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of VGN Weekly. Join us next time for race recaps, interviews, and much, much more. Please like and subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our broadcasts. If you are a league owner or potential sponsor and have a broadcasting need, please visit virtualgrip.net for info on how to get in touch with us. This has been a production of the Virtual Grip Network and the Skidder Creek Motorsports Group.